Good day, everybody. This is Doug, the Modeling Hermit, and today we're starting out with some pictures from my computer of the project that I'm working on, which is Dennis Allen's 1956 Chevrolet number 55, which is nice and confusing. Dirt track stock car, which runs in the vintage circuit here in Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri. And these are just some of the things that I'm tackling on it, and some of the things that I'm not going to tackle on it. And I'll give more explanation on that as we go along. But let me see if I can get this thing to do what I want it to do. There we go. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is the engine compartment. And I'm still going to end up taking liberties with this. The problem is that this car has been raised for many, many years, and just like the chassis, there really isn't much chassis to this thing when you really come down to it. And the roll bars are very, very interesting roll bars. They do the job, believe me, but they're tricky. So anyway, what we're looking at here is the engine compartment and some of the work that I've got to do to it. And now this is the hood. I've drilled the holes in the front of the hood and put that splice piece in there. Interesting thing is that it's running a hood ornament. And that's the first time I've ever seen a stock car being able to run the hood ornament. Usually they kind of throw a fit about that. Maybe I better keep my mouth shut, I guess. This shows the holes in the front, the number on it, the stock bumper that they run on it. And you can see in there that complicated. Let me get this back here. Come on, come back here. Let me bring that up a little bit. Bring this up so we can see it. If you notice those roll bars, that's really an interesting set of roll bars. I can't really think of another word for it but that. That's a side view of the car that I'm working on. And this is the car. I actually sponsored this car. I did find some wheels to use on this thing. Two separate pairs of wheels, one of which was molded in blue color. I got a really nice set of white paint on it there, and it still bled through. But that's okay. I'll just do a little weathering on that, and it'll be fine. The back bumper on this, well, I guess I'll show you the back bumper in a little bit here, but there's that splice piece in the hood. I've got a bunch of pictures up here that I'm using for research. Okay, there's another piece on the back here that has been spliced in, and I'm not sure what all's going on with that. But anyway, that's where he's got some of his tribute people on there. Let's see. There's a little bit of the bumper down there. Can we get a better picture of that? Yeah, okay, now we're going to go to the seat. That's definitely not a very comfortable looking seat. Glad he doesn't have to spend much time in it. That's our work area. I've got lights in the background here that I kind of have to have on, and they're kind of interfering with this. But okay, there's that back bumper I was talking about. That's just a piece of metal that's been put onto there. The headlights and taillights just have got sheet metal put onto those. This car is actually, it shows its age. It's got, let me see if I can bring that in so maybe you can see some of the cracking in the paint and stuff there. So yeah. So anyway, let's see what we got for the next picture here. That's the, okay, well, I guess we're back. Here we go. Okay, another one of the interior area here. And that's what there is of interior on this thing. Believe it or not, the whole chassis is just open. I mean, you got this area here for the driver to sit in, and everything else in there is just gone. So that means a whole lot of weird detailing going on. So I'm actually going to do kind of a bypass on some of that, and we'll go over to the Workbench here now. Okay, for the roll bars, I pulled out a kind of a junk kit of an let's see, what race was that? NASCAR? Yeah, NASCAR Thunderbird. I pulled out a NASCAR Thunderbird junk kit, and I've been kind of putting the roll bars together. Yet they're not complete even then, but I'm going to use those in here and try and make them look as much as I can authentic without getting too ridiculous there. I have the pieces that go for the interior. Okay, let me see. This is the front, and then that's the back side of the interior here. And is that right? Does that go? That goes this way. Okay. So anyway, these are the fill pieces that go up beside the driver into this area in here. And that's what those are. And then the driver sits down in here. I've got to build in the pocket for him. But the chassis, I'm leaving the chassis the way it is. Otherwise, I've got many hours. I bet I could work on this thing for 6 months and probably not get it done. And I've been working at it for about 3 or 4 months now, but I've been mostly waiting on some parts and such. So, some changes there that are going to come into this thing. Let's see, the tires, I mentioned those earlier. These tires really look good, but they're matched, but in a way mismatched. But I can use front and rear, and then like you can see now, the blue is coming through on these here, but I'll just weather that and it won't make any difference. That's the roll bars for it. Like I said, that's out of a NASCAR Thunderbird, and I'll make those work. The seat actually was out of the same Thunderbird kit. I did a little cutting on that. That's going to be fine in there. Probably be a little bit nicer than what he would have had. Let me set this hood so you can see it. I got the holes started drilled for the hood. I actually got those up just a little bit high for what I needed. But I'm still going to make them bigger anyway, so that'll all work out. I got the splice piece in for it. And then, like I said, I left the opening there at the indentation where the hood ornament will go. The engine, I just used the stock engine in this thing. I did build up a little bit more around the carburetor. He's only running 2-barrel carburetor on these things for this series he's running in. I'll paint that yellow around that outside. Actually, I've got some yellow tape that I may put on there that might look more realistic. So that yellow covering that was on there, I will put tape on that, I think, for that. I'm not going to wire this engine or anything like that. Kind of a massive thing to do. And this is going to be a shelf model. Actually, more likely what I'll do is get a display case for it. Then we got to do where's the radiator? Here's the radiator. Right there, let me move that. The radiator, I've got to make that little box that goes around it, and then the round tube that goes around that. I've got to make those yet. That's pretty much about what I'm ending up having to do. I've got a little bit more suspension work on the front. And then put tires wheels on. Like I said, this all has to be mated to it, but it also has to be more cutting and splicing to get it into there, to that flat area there. So this thing is a lot of work, a lot of hours in it already, and we're going to keep plugging away at it. I've got some other projects going on at the same time. This is probably my most in-depth project at the moment. But I'm sorry, Dennis Allen, that I really wanted this thing to be just super detailed, but the amount of work that it would take to do this, I'd need that car up on, I really probably need it up on a lift and be there under it while I'm building for hours. So we're just going to take a different route, and I'm going to use my modeler's license and call it good enough here. So this is Dennis Allen's 1956 Chevrolet number 55 vintage dirt track stock car, raced in Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, mainly the Mississippi Valley area in for that area. And I'm Doug, the modeling hermit, and I am off the air and I'm gone.